Okay. All righty. Now, yes. So now what I did was I mentioned to you at the beginning of this presentation that I did a plan, a marketing plan for my country club. Now, in order to expedite this marketing plan, I did a survey. And so myself and my students developed marketing ideas for country clubs, hotels, restaurants, and resorts. And I'm going to share with you some of the ideas and also some of the results. Okay? All right. I really want to look at question number 2. Grilled fruit desserts served on a stick, especially for teenagers and dating couples that they can grill themselves. So now at your restaurants, what would happen is, think about again, how do you get teenagers to want to sit through a dinner at a restaurant besides, Burger King or TGIF Fridays? How do you get them to sit there? You've got to make this, and how do you get them to sit through a country club meal? And so basically what I said was, we have grills. You have grills. Anybody here from the Hyatt? Is the Hyatt down going towards the airport still have the 4 gas grills named John, Paul, Ringo? Yeah, I love that one. Yes, at the Hyatt. Maybe, did everybody know that? It's a the timeshare. They have the 4 gas grills. You call up and say, please light up the Ringo grill, okay? You know that, here in town. And so you have these grills, and so I'm sure you all have, so basically visualize this. How about a couple on a date, okay? Teenagers, dating couples. How about celebrating an anniversary or a birthday? And suddenly it's dessert time, so now you bring out a plate with, or you walk, or the wait person walks them outside to the grill, and they grill fruit. Do they grill fruit here in Key West? I mean, is it a part of your culture, part of your cuisine? You don't grill fruit.
Not really.
Oh, you don't?
We go to better than stuff.
Okay.
There's a hotel that does s'mores night.
Okay, yeah, well, up north, this is, I guess it's a way of us to, I don't know. But up north, we grill. Now, when I say grill fruit, you put pineapple and apple on there. I mean, we're talking a matter of like maybe 60, 90 seconds. It's not like we barbecue them, unless you're with your date and, we won't get into that, okay? And suddenly it's on the grill for 10 minutes, and you're thinking, well, at that point, who cares about the fruit, okay? But anyway, so this was an idea I came up at our country club, for these reasons. And if you notice, what you always want to do is, when you ever do research, you do collapse cells. So you always collapse strongly agree and agree together, and you collapse strongly disagree and disagree together. So if you look here, I mean, you're looking at 40 and 60, you're looking at 56% of the people said they'd want to do this. Here's another idea for your restaurants. Okay? Here's one. When was the last time a person over the age of 50 was allowed to write in a library book? Right? So this was done at a restaurant. This was an old mansion in outside of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Anybody remember that song with Allentown, Pennsylvania? Billy Joel. There you go. But I'm just saying because, it's... Anyway, so think about how much money do you spend to get your menus printed? Boy, I've seen menus. I saw a restaurant that spent $27 per menu. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. This is what this restaurant did. Okay, all this restaurant did was they took their menu on photocopy paper. They went to yard sales and got old books. They put this in the book and put one of those, ropes so it doesn't fall out. What did it cost them in their printing machine, right? And then it just, everything. Then what they encouraged you to do was write inside the book. So you sit down. Now again, think about dates and think about trying to make wowing the customer. Obsess about details. I sit there at this restaurant. I go there sometimes, and I'll read it. It'll say, today we're celebrating our 16th wedding anniversary. And maybe they'll sign their whole name. They'll put the date. We're here celebrating, a birthday. So you place something in the book. Somebody might put in there, we're celebrating the Eagles' 5th victory. Okay? And so, how much, again, cost. I want to give you ideas that don't cost you any money. Okay? Go to an estate sale when it's over and there's 3 boxes of books and then nobody wants to lift them to get rid of them. Just go and get them. Make them your menus. Okay, now it does become a little difficult for our hostesses, but then again, we're trying to wow the customer. We're trying to let them feel we're in. What are we doing? You know what I'm doing. We're trying to make the guest feel powerful. Somebody over 50 or 60. Dear Lord, I remember when I took a library book out, you had to pay 2 cents for every day that it was late. But back then, you could buy a pack of cigarettes for 35 cents, okay? You know, you could actually go into a store and buy cigarettes for 3 cents. You didn't have to buy the whole pack. You know, you can go into a store and buy 1 cigarette for 3 cents, okay, in the 60s, okay? And so, you know, so you have this, so they have the library book. They can write in it. That's like a thrill to a person over 60, okay? That was one the country club liked. Because what was the average age of the people on the board of directors? Yeah, over 60. So when I said you can write in their eyes lit up like I've never written a library book in my life, you know? Then, okay. Then we have trivial cards, icebreakers, conversation starters, you know? Almost like, you know, do you have to spend time on this? Trivial Pursuit. It's probably online now. Anybody remember the game? Trivial, what? Yeah. So you're able to just do that. You know, again, icebreakers in here. Okay, here's one we came up with, and I thought this was appropriate. I said, one of the problems at the country club when you're north of Philadelphia is, Saturday night it was 7 degrees back home. Yeah, we get these, they call them cold spells. Yeah, 7 degrees is kind of cold, I have to admit, okay? Yes, and so I said to them, we have to get excitement growing. What happens at the country club, we have people who only come in the summer. They come for the pool, they come for the tennis, they come for the golf. Then you never see them the rest of the year. Plus, again, we're trying to get families involved. And so I said, why don't we do this? Why don't we do August, October, and February? So in August, we'd have badminton outside. You keep records. Then in October, we'd have to move in. We'd have do you call it table tennis or ping pong?
Ping pong.
Well, yes, we call it ping pong, yes. Yes, the college students call it table tennis. When I said ping pong, sometimes I'll say things and I'll have a polite student raise his hand and go, Dr. Mellon, what does that mean? You know, I got that when I said ping pong. They said, Dr. Mellon, what does ping pong? And then somebody in the room said, that's table tennis. I said, okay. So in October, you do table tennis. Then in February, you do table tennis, but you make it a big thing in the banquet room. You're going to it'll be there like waiting for the results and who wins first place and who wins as a family event, as a couples event, as singles. And so now suddenly, you're filling your banquet room on a Sunday night in February. How many country clubs, when it's 7 degrees outside, are filling their banquet rooms on a Sunday night? Exactly. And now I'm just saying, and some of these ideas, of course you have guests, but what I'm also trying to instill in the group today, and I feel like my research, is to get your local people. How can you get some of your local people to do this? Could this be an idea that you could have at your property for local people to buy into, you know, to start coming to your operation, to your facility? In here. Here's one. Full toweling. Think about if you've been fortunate enough to travel on a cruise ship and you come back to your room at night. The first night you get excited when there's a towel folded like an animal. Then what are you doing? You're walking back to the room and you're saying, oh, let's see what towel folded. And like you're rushing to get in the door to see what animal they folded that night on the cruise ship, right? How about at our pools? Can we train our lifeguards to do the full toweling?